Hello, my name is Ayden Darnell, and today I will be presenting my project to you guys today. My project is known as Project SafeHaven, which focuses on criminal statistics in Tennessee. The reason why I chose this project is because of multiple reasons. One being that my stepfather works for Metro dealing with crime, and secondly, I worked on a similar project during my second year here at MTSU with a coding class to create a functional website in regards of dealing with UN national issues in regards of social justices. And while we were creating the said website to provide information of the crime statistics about 2 years ago, we ended up providing helpful programs that would combat the said crimes. Now, especially with the close relationship I have with this particular project, I decided to provide a more updated and a lot more of a visually appealing project, kind of as a homage to the original Project SafeHaven project I did back in 2022. So now some of the questions that I'm going to be answering, three mainly, will be: one, which crime group is more concurrent? What common patterns are being followed with certain crimes? And three, what ages are mostly affected in crimes? Now that we have discussed that, we will be moving on to the next portion of our project, which is the data collection. Now, as I went through the TBI information, I went on ahead and ended up grabbing all the Group A and Group B offenses, with Group A being a lot more of the federal and more serious crimes, and Group B being a lot more of less serious crimes and a lot more concurrent crimes that we normally have on our day-to-day basis. So some of the Group A offenses would involve like the more heinous crimes, such as the crimes against society and people, murder, kidnapping, you name it. Whereas Group Bs are a lot more sometimes white-collar crimes, or a lot more of like less strict or threatening crimes, such as drunkenness, disorderly conduct, bad checks, and so on. The arrestees' races were separated into 5 different categories. That is the only categories that the TBI has provided, which would be white, black or African American, American Indian or Alaska Native, Asian, Native Hawaiian, or other Pacific Islander. Then they also provided us with the arrestees' ages, with it being 2 categories: under 18 and 18 and over. The arrestees' genders being the male and female, and then that way it all dumbs down to how many of those people were end up arrested in the total arrestees column. As you can see here, we have a very huge selection of data here, with the final number being 1,382 worth of data collection. So with that there, we ended up taking this and moved on to our next portion, which is the Tableau portions. As you can see here in the Tableau portions, I was able to create the data by making a few tables here and combining those said tables, making a few but limited measurements, whatnot, because the measurements have already been made, and not really a lot of calculations, as calculations have already been pre-made from the said measurements and the combined groups. I ended up making a percentage chart here showing that majority of the total will be the white race, covering 64.24%, with them having the highest concurrent group being at 40.04%, and the less group or race that ended up causing crimes will be the Native Hawaiians, being at 0.03%, with the lowest number being the females at under 18. And then I also provide a lot more of a visual bar chart to see the differencing between the males and females being on the left and males being on the right. 18 and over, under 18, females 18 and over, under 18, with all the races here shown. Next, I also have the total Group A offenses. As I mentioned, those are your more serious crimes. So you got burglary, then you got drug and narcotics, crimes against society, then you got a lot more of kidnapping, and got more theft, fraud, so on and so on. Then another one will be the Group B, which is your less serious crimes. So we have the disorderly conducts, drunkenness, bad checks, trespassing, nonviolence, DUI, and so on. Then I separated them into the age groups, with 18 and over being the most concurrent at 9,254,348, and the under 18, which will be your teenagers, being at 1,148,801,000. Next, we have the genders, with males being at the lead here with 4,884,000, and females being at 2,025,000. And then, if we continue on to go through here, I also ended up separating them through the race here as well too, with it mostly being white at 4,438,538, and the Native Hawaiian being at 2,046. And you can also see here that we also have the other races as well too, with the American Indian or Alaska Native at 9,047, Asian 22,625, and the Black or African American groups being at 2,437,544. Next, we were able to use these said charts to end up creating a dashboard, and the functioning dashboard mostly. You can see here that you can kind of hover around and look at the different selections here, from the bar charts to race, and then I also ended up adding the Group B offenses. And once you click on certain things, like let's just say, let's go to the white male of over 18, you can see here it breaks it down with the race being at 2,766,958, showing the bar chart version as well too, and it breaks down some of the Group B offenses here as well too, mostly from here and here. And now let's go ahead and refix that there. And then we can also see the crime rate for the white males specifically, with crimes against society being the highest here, and it continues to go on down through here, with the last known being Peeping Tom, with one person being arrested from that. And then the white males of age 18 and over is 6,113,000, and under 18, 567, and the gender being 2,113,000 for females and 4,567,000 for males. And then I also had the Native Hawaiian here as shown, since they are the lowest group. Crimes against society being at 368, female 115, male 253. Native Hawaiian arrestee under the age of 18 being at 39, and 18 and over being at 329. And finally, we also have our setup story here. As I mentioned, 18 and over is going to be the most concurrent group for white males. And in Group A's, we can see that crimes against society are most common. Next, since we have this here, disorderly conduct is the most common. And then we have our ages, as I mentioned, with age 18 and over being the most concurrent. This concludes my project here for Project SafeHaven. I hope that you guys enjoyed this project, and I had a lot of fun working this throughout the semester, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.